We're ready, Joe.
Woo! Now I'm a simple Yorkshireman, and today I want to talk to you guys about poverty, having spent the past 10 years working with people who live in poverty. Whenever you're talking about anything, I find it's always very, very important to define exactly what it is that you're talking about. And the definition of poverty has changed quite a lot since I've been working in the area, but for the purpose of today, it's quite simply not having enough money to buy the things that you want or you need. Now, one of the implicit assumptions around poverty is that somehow it's a problem that needs to be solved. And one of the issues with this is that problems are often solved on paper, but we don't live our lives on paper. We create income categories. Now, these are not permanent fixtures. They eternalise a set of circumstances that are temporary. They create a static picture of something that's dynamic. We simply move in and out of income categories as we move along our lives. Now, when things don't look good on paper, we create ideas around why that is. You wouldn't blame falling over on gravity, and just in the same way, we can't blame greed for poverty. We got obsessed with gaps. Now, for the people that I work with on a daily basis, they're not interested in gaps. They're interested in their unique set of circumstances they need to overcome in order to alleviate the effects of poverty. We get hung up on certain groups of people, the evil 1% that are creating all the evils of the world. They're a changing group of people. 5 years ago, they were a different group of people to who they are now. Now, when we create ideas of the world that are based on paper, we come up with some bad ideas about how we deal with some of these issues around poverty. And I want to live in a world where ideas are tested. Now, the leading body around poverty is the Joseph Rowntree Foundation, and by their own admittance, poverty has remained flat for at least 25 years. That leads me to thinking that actually, those ideas are not particularly good. And from the experiences that I've had, they've made it much more difficult for people to escape poverty. The breakdown in family life that we see not only in our country, but in other countries where these ideas are prevalent. A changing idea about what education is. Children are much more than a test score, of course, but we must understand that the better the test scores, the more chance that we have of escaping poverty for our poor young people. Embarrassing levels of youth unemployment, a problem that once didn't exist. We are reducing the opportunities that our young people have to develop the skills and the knowledge required to escape poverty. But more importantly, from what I see, these ideas have a huge impact on people's behaviours, values and their cultures. Communities that once relied on each other to escape poverty rely on the ideas of third parties that pay no price for those ideas being wrong. Forget about money. I want you to think about knowledge. We have exactly the same resources that cavemen did and women millions of years ago. It's being rearranged through the knowledge of individuals who want to change the world. Now, I want ideas to be tested because some ideas are shit and they do not work and they do not create opportunities for people to escape poverty. But on the flip side, some ideas are simply magical, no matter how absurd they seem. They produce opportunities for poor people to get out of poverty and to develop the skills. I want ideas to be tested. Is Bettakultcha a good idea? Well, collectively, amongst ourselves, the fact that it's sold out, the Twitter transfers, suggest to me that our collective knowledge has meant that this is a good, wonderful idea. The very room that we are stood in today, the chairs that you sit on, the lights that light the room, the beer that you're drinking, have all been created through human knowledge and the attempt to create an income to reduce poverty. Now, the people who I meet on a daily basis are magic and are impressive, but only in a very narrow field. We all have gifts and talents, and I want to help those people to use those gifts and talents in order to reduce poverty for themselves and their family. So although this is probably not going to win me any popularity contests, I love the free market and I love capitalism, because I think not only is it a practical success, but it's a supreme expression of human creativity. Thank you.